Roy, my name's PC from Suffolk and Stavry. At this time, I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Anita Rose in Brantham, Suffolk, on Wednesday, the 24th of July, 2024.
And in Ipswich, a man has been jailed for the murder of a woman last year. 56-year-old Roy Barclay of no fixed abode was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 25 years at Ipswich Crown Court after he was found guilty of the murder of Anita on Wednesday, the 9th of July 2024. The court heard that Anita had left her home at 5 a.m. on Wednesday the 24th of July 2024 to take her Springer Spaniel dog Bruce for a walk. She was found critically injured by a member of the public at approximately 6:30, and she was found lying across a footpath near sewage works off Rectory Road. She was unconscious and visible head injuries and facial injuries were noted at the time. She was wearing only her bra on her top half, as well as leggings and trainers on her lower half. Bruce was not harmed, and his lead was found wrapped around her leg. An ambulance was called and Anita was taken to the nearby hospital, and due to the nature and severity of her injuries, the ambulance crew called the police and the detectives immediately began to investigate an attempted murder. On the morning of the attack, local CCTV and doorbell footage showed Anita walking her dog wearing a pink zip-up jacket, which was later missing when she was found and is believed to have been removed by the suspect. Items that were also missing were her iPhone case, and a distinctive black wallet with gold crown and stud detail. Her Samsung earbuds and a door key were also missing. Tragically, Anita died on the 28th of July 2024. 4 days after the attack, she did not regain consciousness. An initial post-mortem examination was held the following day, on the 29th of July, and the cause of death was determined as traumatic brain injury. The court heard Anita had sustained injuries to her upper chest, her neck, her face and scalp, and that the level of force was consistent with a prolonged attack and also connected to stamping on her head. The pathologist confirmed the damage to a road traffic collision. A murder investigation was launched, and police continued to conduct inquiries within the local community and engaged with commuters on train journeys between Ipswich and Colchester, as well as other public transport. Police also released CCTV images of Anita and a map of her walking route to the public, in hope that it would prompt potential witnesses to come forward with any relevant information or suspicious activity. A location tracking application that was on Anita's phone indicated that her walk started in Palfrey Heights, and it showed that her walk reached New Mill Lane at the Stour Estuary before she turned around and retraced her steps back up to New Mill Lane, where the app then went off. And the court heard this was very normal for her app to be stopped at this point. At 6:15 a.m, Anita's partner made a video call to her, which she answered, but the screen was black and the call was silent. On Saturday the 27th of July, 3 days after the attack, Anita's phone, but not her distinctive phone case, was located in Ipswich after it had been switched on for the first time. A man and a woman were found in possession of the phone, and they were arrested in connection with the incident. However, it became apparent there was no evidence to link the couple to Anita's attack that led to her death. CCTV in Ipswich captured a man now known as Roy Barclay in the immediate vicinity where the phone was picked up by the couple shortly before it was switched on. The footage showed Barclay entering a seating area of Upper Orwell Street carrying a bag. When he emerged on CCTV again, the bag was missing. Detectives carried out extensive inquiries, with police reviewing more than 700 hours of CCTV and conducting house-to-house inquiries, speaking to approximately 3,000 people who lived and worked in the Brantham area, and taking witness statements and collating information received from members of the public and put into the major incident portal. Police were unable to identify one man seen walking in the same direction as Anita at the time of her attack. Anita had been captured on CCTV in Rectory Road at 5:15 in the morning. The unidentified man, now known to be Roy Barclay, was captured on the same camera at 5:30, and then again at 6:20, and walking in the same direction as Anita. He was wearing a blue two-tone sweatshirt with a distinctive logo above the left chest. He also was wearing a beanie hat and walking boots, and at the time the man was considered a potential witness, and police issued an appeal to help identify him. It was also put on Crime Watch, and a £20,000 reward was put up for any information. At approximately 5 p.m. on Tuesday the 15th of October 2024, DC Barry Simpson, a plainclothed officer in an unmarked vehicle who was working on the murder investigation, saw a man walking across the A317 near Brantham, and he resembled the identity of the man in the CCTV. DC Simpson stopped the man, identified himself as a police officer, and requested to speak to him. The man said his name was John Leslie and denied that he was the man depicted in the CCTV, and claimed that he did not walk around normally at 7 a.m. This was subsequently discovered to be a false name, and his real name was Roy Barclay. And police uncovered, in fact, that he was wanted for recall to prison, having breached the conditions of his licence. The court heard that Barclay had previously been convicted of assault causing grievous bodily harm with intent in Essex in 2015. This bore a striking resemblance to the attack on Anita. The victim at the time was an elderly man. He suffered multiple facial fractures and underwent several operations following an unprovoked attack by Barclay. He had originally denied the offence, but pled guilty on the first day of trial. He was jailed for 10 years. The man had been walking his dog when he encountered Barclay, and the dog lead had been wrapped around his legs following the attack. After being released from prison on licence in February 2020, Barclay had conditions to live in an approved premise in Ipswich, but he failed to comply with these conditions. With his licence revoked, he was recalled to prison in May 2022, and Suffolk Constabulary was informed, and Roy Barclay was sought for the arrest. On the 21st of October 2024, Barclay was located in Ipswich Library following a police manhunt. He was arrested on suspicion of murder and taken to the local police station for questioning, where he was charged the following evening on the 22nd of October. Following his arrest, police discovered 2 areas that Barclay would sleep rough, and they went to Orwell Bridge, where most of his possessions were, and police discovered Anita's Samsung earbuds, from which forensic testing found his own DNA and also Anita's. The blue tone sweatshirt he'd been wearing on CCTV was released to the public and was also found, but the distinctive logo was removed. A secondary location that Barclay slept was in a remote area in a rural location on the outskirts of Brantham, and it was close to a river and a railway line. It was completely concealed by shrubbery and overgrowth. Amongst his possessions, police found Anita's missing phone case, her pink jacket and a door key. Barclay's walking boots, seen pictured on the CCTV, were also discovered. It's believed that Barclay had made attempts to change his appearance after the encounter with DC Simpson on the 15th of October in an effort to evade police. He shaved his head and also his beard. Barclay's phone was seized following his arrest. His phone search history indicated that he had closely followed the case on both Suffolk Constabulary website as well as news outlets and social media. He made several internet searches about DNA detection and general searches about murder trial duration and also prisons as well. Further internet searches that he made related to Anita's attack and showed his interest in the Brantham area, particularly the sewage works. Phone records also placed him in the Ipswich area on the morning of the 27th of July, when Anita's phone was switched on by the couple, as his own phone accessed public Wi-Fi nearby. Barclay denied murder but was found guilty by a jury in a unanimous verdict after approximately 2.5 hours of deliberation, where in passing sentence the judge described him as unpredictable, disheartening and a very dangerous man. The court commended the police investigation and the details and the support of the family. Barclay was also jailed for 12 months and he will serve a minimum of 25 years. Detective Inspector Matthew Connock, the senior investigating officer, said that Anita Rose was subject to the most shocking and violent attack in this village, and she was alone and vulnerable on the morning of this attack. This was an extremely challenging and complex investigation requiring the skill and dedication of the police and the staff across all departments within Suffolk Constabulary. Roy Barclay was a deceitful and violent man who lived off-grid in solitude. 3 days after the attack, he left Anita's phone in Ipswich, enabling it to fall into the hands of other people. He was trying to cause a distraction and diverting significant resources. Our thoughts remain with Anita's family, children and grandchildren who have gone through this unimaginable ordeal and have been forced to sit through the weeks of trial. And lastly, they'd like to thank the Brantham community for all their help with all the CCTV that was gathered and the witness information. I really appreciate you joining me today, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.